Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? It's me, Shining on Gameplays, and for today's episode, I am bringing you guys something very, very, very special. Now, I know I haven't uploaded a video in quite a while. I've been live streaming here lately on YouTube, but this deck just cannot be ignored. Against the meta right now, this deck outs every single possible strategy they have. Like, honestly, this deck is truly meta breaking. Like, I've been shitting on Labyrinth just literally all week. Like, literally all week. If you guys tuned in for my live stream yesterday, you'll see that I ran an Armed Dragon Lightning deck, and it didn't go as planned. I did win a couple duels, but the deck just wasn't it. It was kind of like playing Brick Eyes. So I dismantled the deck, and then went into Ranked and switched to this deck. And if you guys watched my live stream yesterday, I was just shitting on people all day yesterday with this deck. So this deck is like legit. I'm not saying a lot of YouTubers like fuck around like this to get views. This deck is actually meta breaking. What it does is it fuses your opponent's cards on the field, and then using Invocation, it fuses with their cards in the graveyard. So it's literally getting two monsters while banishing all of your opponent's field, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it, because the only way they're going to be able to get them from the banish pile is if they're running decks that shuffle from the banish pile back into the deck, which they don't. Tearlament, Labyrinth, Dinosaurs, all of them are literally prey to this deck. I don't like playing this deck because I've kind of been playing it the exact same way for the past like year or so on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I think ever since they released the new branded support, this has been my branded deck. So I kind of really don't like playing with it because I feel personally I have overplayed this deck, and that's why I tried to make videos on other decks, like my Dinosaur deck, my Dark Magician deck, just all the other decks that I've made, the Buster Blader deck. But here I am finally making you guys a Fallen of Albaz video. So to start off the deck list, we're going to go with one Despian Tragedy. This is just to be able to get a monster on the field, get our Link Karibo out, shuffle the Despian Tragedy to the grave. Not shuffle it, but send it to the grave, and then use its effect to get any of our branded spells to our hand by banishing him. Then that's where Branded Regained is going to come in. I'm always banishing cards. Like, literally, I'm always banishing cards, so it's always more free draws with Branded Regained, and Branded Regained is searchable because it has Branded in its name. So, yeah, we're going to go with 2 Maxis, we're going to have 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, we're going to have 3 Aleister the Invokers. I've seen a lot of people run 2 Aleister the Invoker and 3 Invocations. I constantly want to be fusion summoning with Aleister the Invoker, and if Invocation cycles Aleister the Invoker anyway, then why not have 3 if the Aleister Invoker also searches the Invocation? You know what I mean? They kind of go hand in hand together. So next, we're obviously running 3 Fallen of Albazes to be able to fusion summon with our opponent's monsters, but also for our branded fusion to be able to go into our higher ranked fusion monsters, just to be able to get some damage in, some badass effects, some negates, some interruptions. It's just a really, really, really good card that every single person should have in their Despia or Fallen of Albaz deck. Hell, it's Fallen of Albaz. So next, we're going to go on to Aleister, the Jester of Despia. This allows us to be able to search any of our branded cards from our deck to our hand. More than likely, because they put Branded Fusion to 2, you're always going to be searching Branded Fusion. There's multiple ways to be able to special summon Aleister the Jester of Despia. There's so many ways to go into him. He's almost always on your opening hand no matter what, or you're already going to have Branded Fusion. So either way, you're going to be fusioning, summoning no matter what. So next, we're going to go on to 3 Incredible Ecclesia, the Virtuous. This allows us to be able to special summon a Fallen Albaz straight from our deck by attributing this card. I tried to work tuners into this deck. It's just I never found a position to where I'd want to use a tuner over another fusion card. You know what I mean? So Ecclesia is just another body on the field, and she also allows us to special summon Fallen of Albaz from our deck. Next, we're going to go into Springcant's Kit. This is also another free special summon, but It also lets us add any of our branded spell or trap cards that are in the deck or the graveyard or banished straight to our hand. The only downside is we have to give a card from our hand. We have to put one to the bottom of the deck. So that's like the only downside. So next we're going Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. This allows us to banish more, get more bodies on the field, and it allows us to be able to pop 2 cards on our opponent's field. We're always going to have both light and dark monsters in our graveyard. So the reason I put Chaos Dragon Legionnaire in here is for a quick pop 2. And he can also be used as fusion material. He's just a really good card all around, especially in a deck that runs light and dark monsters consecutively. You always want to have some kind of chaos card. I chose Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. So next we're going to go into Dramaturge of Despia. This allows us to be able to negate our opponent's monster effects. If I use Dramaturge of Despia for a fusion summon, it's also a free special summon. She gets to special summon herself for free. It's just very, very good. You get that negate, you get a free special summon. A lot of the cards require you to have, what is it? Let me think, a light or a dark. She fits into the light and the dark. She's just very good all around for every single situation. We're going to have Ad Libitum of Despia. This is also to be used for a fusion material. This allows us to target one of our level 8 or higher Despia, or target one of our Despia monsters or a level 8 or higher fusion monster that's banished or in our graveyard, and we get to special summon it. So let's just, can I stop doing that? Jesus. Let's just say they out our Mirror Jade here. Ad Libitum is a direct out to their out. You know what I mean? So next we're going to go Monster Reborn. This is also to be able to special summon our Ice Jade if they out it somehow. Invocation, this allows us to use our opponent's monsters in the graveyard to be able to fusion summon, which is absolutely busted. So if you're going up against Labyrinth, Tier Laments, you could just banish all of their cards in their graveyard. They don't have a chance of activating the effects. And I also forgot to mention, if you're dueling Tier Laments and you fusion summon using their card, it doesn't destroy them, it doesn't send them to the graveyard by a card effect, it just fusion summon them. So I'm pretty sure it won't count towards activating their effect. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So next we're going to go Branded Fusion. This allows us to get into any of our Branded Fusion cards, obviously. We're going to go into Magical Meltdown. We're going to have 3 of these. The reason why we have 3 is it, for one, allows us to summon Aleister, or it allows us to search Aleister the Invoker from our deck to our hand, which gets us Invocation. And it also stops our opponent from negating effects that include fusion summoning. So it makes it to where we legitimately get free fusion summons without ever having to worry. So next we're going to go Despia Branded Theater, or Theater of the Branded. This allows us to fusion summon using cards from our hand or face up on the field as a material. If a card or effect destroys a card that I have, I can target one of my level 8 or higher fusion monsters in my graveyard and special summon it, which is literally getting us back Ice Jade. So I'm literally being able to cycle through Ice Jade all the time. That's why I only run 1 with this deck. So I already explained Branded Regain. I'm banishing cards all the time with this deck. It allows me to choose one of my banished cards, shuffle it back into the deck, and then draw one for free. Next, we're going to have Super Poly. I've really been thinking about bumping Super Poly up to 2. I just really can't find a card to replace it with, you know what I mean? But Super Poly allows us to be able to use our opponent's fusion monsters without having an out at all. There's no way to out Super Poly because neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. It's quite literally an out for every single situation, no matter what. We're going 2 Called by the Graves to negate Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Tier Lament cards, you know, things of that sort, Max C. Next, we're going to go 2 Branded Openings. This allows us to be able to special summon our Aluber here straight from our deck by discarding a card. We're going to go Branded in High Spirits. This allows us to be able to, if we're in the absolute stickiest of situations, it is the absolute stickiest of situations, we'll activate our Branded in High Spirits, we'll send our Albion to the graveyard, and at the end phase, that allows us to get our Branded Fusion from our deck straight to our hand, while also having the effect of adding Fallen of Albaz or one card that mentions it from the deck to the hand. So it's kind of like a hand-in-hand combo. It's very risky, that's why it's only at 1. It's an absolute last resort option. Branded in red, this allows us to be able to target one of our Despias or our Fallen of Albaz's in our graveyard and fusion summon it so like it adds the Fallen of Albaz or Despia card to our hand, and then we get to fusion summon it using cards in our graveyard and our hand. It's pretty broken, especially if you mix that with Branded Regain. You're just cycling through your stuff like crazy. It is ridiculous. So next we're going to go Infinite Impermanence. This is for a column negate, and it's also a monster negate. Branded Banishment is also another way that we can get into our Ice Jade. We can special summon our Ice Jade with the first effect of Branded Banishment. Target 1 Despia monster or level 8 or higher fusion monster. Special summon it, then apply this effect. You can fusion summon. You don't have to. But if your opponent has super strong boss monsters on the field, you're gonna 100% want to banish their cards from the field. Yeah. Fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion monsters listed on it from either material. Yeah, Branded Banishment's really good. Another last resort card is Skill Drain. I haven't ever been in a situation where I've had to use Skill Drain, so I'm thinking about taking out Skill Drain and just adding Dark Ruler no more. So next we're going to go into our extra deck. Invoked Kalaga. The reason why I run Invoked Kalaga is it stops my opponent from activating monster effects. I'm always going to have Aleister in my hand to boost it up to 2800 defense, so most cards won't be able to destroy it. The only bad thing about Kalaga is it's very easily outed by destruction effects and Raigeki, things of that nature. But as you'll see in the replays, Kalaga is an absolutely broken card. Trust me. So next we're going Mud Dragon of the Swamp to always be able to fusion summon 2 of my opponent's cards no matter what. If my opponent is running dark cards, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is a target. Most of my cards are dark, so I'll be able to always fusion summon Starving Venom. We're going Albion the Branded Dragon. This allows us to be able to fusion summon an extra time by banishing materials that are listed on that card from our graveyard. Very, very good. Next we're going to go Despian that card. We're gonna go with this card. During the main phase, I can change all my opponent's level 8 monsters, or I can target. Holy shit! I can make all of my opponent's monsters that are lower than level 8 have 0 attack, so I can just beat over them relentlessly. Next, we're going to go with our favorite Tax Dragon. Tax Dragon is an amazing going first card, especially if you could mix that with Kalaga, because the burning effect is mandatory. It says must pay, so it doesn't fall under the category of Kalaga, which is like a badass super broken interaction that I feel really needs. This card needs to be neuroted in this game specifically just to be able to fix this interaction. Because if my opponent is activating spell cards, they constantly take that burn damage, even though Kalaga says I can only attempt to activate a monster effect once per turn. So, like, they're trying to set up their board, but they can't activate monster effects from the cards that they're summoning off of these spell cards. So it's quite literally just free burn damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. Another badass combo is mixing Kalaga with Mirror Jade. If you get Kalaga and Mirror Jade on the field, it's GG. You get a free banish, you get free destruction if they somehow out your Mirror Jade. It is absolutely freaking ridiculous of a combo. We're going to go Lubellion. This shuffles our banished monsters from our banish pile back into our deck, so we have more resources to keep this whole thing going. If my opponent is running dragon monsters, this is just a really funny way to be able to out all of their entire board, because I'm fusion summoning by contact fusion with their dragon cards. We're going to go Invoked Makaba. Invoked Makaba is an Omni Negate. Perfectly amazing for this deck. This deck didn't need an Omni Negate, but now it has an Omni Negate. We're going to go Link Karibo. This is, like I said, just for the Despian Tragedy. That's it. It has no other uses, pretty much, besides if I'm in a situation, which you guys will see in one of the replays, if I'm in a situation where I only have Link Karibo on the field, not taking that 3k damage is pretty nice. That's all I'm saying. Next, we're going to go into Predaplant Verde Anaconda. The only target that I really have for Predaplant Verde Anaconda is Super Poly, and that's kind of the reason why I'm leaning towards having 2 Super Polys. You get what I'm saying? Predaplant's good, just not specifically in this deck. Because there's only 2 branded fusions, more than likely you're already going to use both of your branded fusions by the time you get Predaplant on the field anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So next, we're going to go with our Dark the Charmer. This is going to be able to let us set up Celine and our access. Dark the Charmer allows me to get one of my opponent's Dark cards and special summon it to my field. And then with these 2 cards, using Dark the Charmer and whatever Dark monster that I special summon from their graveyard allows me to get into Celine. This deck has an absurd amount of trap cards, or spell cards, I'm sorry. So she's always going to have counters. The target for this is Aleister, Ecclesia. It's like it's very good. Like Celine gets you into any of your cards. And let's just say you didn't use a Luber this turn. Oh, wait. I'm fucking up. It's only Aleister and Ecclesia. I meant to say Ecclesia. If you didn't use Ecclesia's effect this turn, if you want to be even more of a dick, once you special summon Ecclesia off of Celine, don't use Celine, or don't fusion, or Jesus Christ, don't link up into Access Code Talker. Use Ecclesia's effect, get your Fallen of Valbez out, and fusion summon with your opponent's monsters. Then go into your Access Code Talker. It is a very, very mean strat. And then the final card in this deck is Access Code Talker. So this has been a really, really, really long deck build video. I'm just going to get straight into the replays. I hope you guys enjoy them. It's been me shutting on gameplays. If you like this video, please consider leaving me a like, possibly a subscription. If I can get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, that would just be fucking incredible. I mean, we're right there on the cusp, you guys. We can easily do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been me shutting on gameplays, and peace out.